The rumors and innuendo have come to fruition, and what seems like something that was teased since last year's trade deadline. The Baltimore Ravens welcome a king into the flock, into the backfield, as their new running back one. And can't forget about the other free agents the Ravens have as a pivotal key piece at the center of the defense has left to join and cross enemy state lines as he will be their new green dot guy. It's God's favorite host, the host of the most, back here on the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving sports how you want to when you need it. We're talking Derrick Henry, we're talking Baltimore Ravens, and we're talking about departures as well. Hit that subscribe button, sack it. Stick that like button, and go ahead and bulldoze that bell. Derrick Henry, we're talking about it right now on the Flex Zone. God's favorite host back again, Ravens Flock, Flex Zone family, the only place giving you sports how you want it, when you need it. Let's start off the show with some applause, some appreciation for Eric DeCosta yet again, doing what he does best, keeping the Ravens flock happy, making a move when he needs to, and not panicking on the first day of free agency, on the first day of all the moves and all the running backs. You get a running back like Oprah. You get a running back. I'm going to pay you $8 million. I'm going to pay you $10 million. I'm going to give you 3 years. I'm going to give you 4 years. Eric DeCosta, one of the best to do it in the NFL, upholding a legacy set forth and precedented by Ozzie Newsome, and of course, owner Steve Bisciotti, allowing him to pay his players. We saw Matt Abike. We saw him resign, and it was a pivotal move. We're dropping horns, we're dropping bombs for EDC because afterwards you saw what Chris Jones got, especially in the guarantee, and what Christian Wilkins got as well. The Ravens signed Derrick Henry. It is official. It has been talked about since last trade deadline. Derrick Henry is officially coming to the Ravens flock. The king enters the flock. Last year, Derrick Henry still balled out. He averaged 4.2 yards a carry, 12 touchdowns, 1,100 yards, 1,167 to be exact, almost 1,200, and 280 carries. Now, his yards per attempt, his average, has dropped every year, but he is 30 years old. He will play this season at 30, so he will only turn 31 in January at the end of the season. But we now have Derrick Henry officially running back number one for the Baltimore Ravens. He will line up in the backfield with two-time MVP Lamar Jackson and really pivotally give the Ravens a reliable running back that they haven't had since Mark Ingram, that can really take the workload consistently and really be running back one that you can give 20, 25 carries. I look at Derrick Henry as Gus Edwards on steroids. Derrick Henry is still a top 5 running back in the NFL. He's still capable of breaking off big-time gains, running for over 1,000 yards. And yes, I do understand people's trepidation with the signing. I do understand why people could be concerned. We know he's over 30. We know running backs hit a wall sometimes and just fall off the face of the earth, like Mark Ingram, like Dalvin Cook, and plenty of others you can throw in and insert in the comments down below. But let's read it. Courtesy of Jamison Hensley. This came out about 1:30 this afternoon. The NFL free agency is off and running, and it looks like the Baltimore Ravens and former Tennessee Titan running back Derrick Henry have agreed to a 2-year, this is key, only a 2-year deal worth $16 million on Tuesday, could be worth up to $20 million. The Ravens have been the best rushing tandem in the NFL, and Henry's career 8,268 yards are the most in the NFL since 2018. Lamar Jackson, 5,258 rushing yards are the most by a quarterback over that span. So that's over 13,500 yards right there between the two. Now they're both in the same backfield. Henry should take some attention away from Lamar Jackson, as Jackson in his 6 seasons have only had one running back gain over 1,000 yards, and it was Mark Ingram. Hence why he was the best running back signing they've had in recent memory. Would have been JK, but we know this probably spells the end for him as a Raven, personally, in my opinion, because I think Derrick Henry's a guy you got to give 20 to 25 touches a game. Henry has produced 1,000 yards in 5 of the last 6 seasons, including leading the league in rushing in 2019 and 2020. Now we know the risk is how much does Henry have left in the tank, his wear and tear. He turned 30, and other than Adrian Peterson and Frank Gore, many running backs over the age of 30 have not maintained success. I mean, Adrian Peterson and Frank Gore, two of the best you'll ever see, Hall of Famers. He's taken a lot of hits in his career since 2018. He's run the ball 1,744 times. That's 243 more carries than anyone else over the 6-year span. He hasn't shown any signs of wearing down over the last 5 years. He's at 22 touches, reaching 22 miles per hour, which is the most by a running back according to NFL Next Gen stats, excuse me. He's like a locomotive. He's like a bulldozer train. You talk about running downhill, emphasizing running downhill. He is the picture that you should see in the dictionary next to running downhill or that phrase. Once he gets lathered up, once he gets going, he only gets better as the game goes along. He tires out opposing defenses. And while he does not catch the ball well out of the backfield, he is, as I mentioned, capable of bringing that RPO threat, that read option threat. You could even utilize him. We've seen, and go back to 2019 when the Ravens were the number 1 seed and the Titans were supposed to get shellacked. He can throw touchdowns in the red zone. He brings that threat, the little Tebow jump pass. I mean, if creatively we want to switch things up sometimes and do something we've never seen at the Ravens offense, Todd Monken, I know he's going to utilize Derrick Henry in the best possible way. And that I think is running between the tackles, running him off tackle, utilizing the strengths of this offensive line to block downhill with Ronnie Stanley and Morgan Moses on the outside and Tyler Linderbaum as your anchor. I still think there is an opportunity for Derrick Henry to get 1,000 yards. I think on March 12th, 2024, while recording this video, I'm going on record. I think he'll get 1,000 yards. I think the Ravens will still be a top 3 team in rushing. And I still think the Baltimore Ravens have gotten better today. We saw what Cleveland has done getting Jerry Jeudy. We saw what Cincinnati has done getting Geno Stone, trading Joe Mixon to Houston, getting Zach Moss, a guy who could have fit with the Ravens. Derrick Henry, as I said, he's still a top 5 running back. You got Christian McCaffrey, and then you can argue about 2, 3, 4, and 5. I mean, you want to throw Saquon in there. You want to throw Josh Jacobs in there. You can put Henry right in that mix. Henry, Jacobs, Saquon were the top 3 running backs coming in free agency. They've all signed. And I think Swift was right on the outside looking in at number 4. But as I mentioned, Pat, we have other news as we get into the Derrick Henry signing. I give the signing a B+. I give it a solid B+ because it's potential to make us better when we need to be better. That's in the postseason, where in 2019 and this year, 2023, 2024, we did not run the ball effectively. You're going to have to give Derrick Henry the football. It's a low risk, high reward potential because the Ravens can do what they do best, and it can create opportunities not only in the running game, but in the passing game with the play action, the read option, the RPOs, even utilizing him in a 2-back set with Justice Hill. What are you going to do as a defense? Are you going to look for Derrick Henry to get the ball? Justice Hill can catch the ball out of the backfield. You got Zay, you got Mark Andrews, you got not Ingram, you got Likely, you have Bateman, you have weapons. Aguilar is back. So that offense alone of weapons is good for Lamar Jackson. The key is going to be the offensive line. The key is going to be the guys up front and what they do to protect him there. But let me know in the comment section what you think about the Derrick Henry signing. I'm cool with it. Glad they didn't have to give anything up. Trade for him last season. Wait for him in the offseason. He's 30. He'll only be 31 in January. I think this year he can go for at least 1,000 yards. Whatever happens in that second year, hey, the contract could be up to $20 million with his sentence, but only $8 million a year, under 10. Eric DeCosta, yet again, EDC, Bashadi writing the check. Shout out to you, how he is involved in this offense. And look at this signing not as something as initially that's going to take off, but look in November, December, January, when we're heading towards the playoffs, when we need those short yardage conversions, when we need touchdowns in the red zone. And Gus was fantastic. He's headed back to G-Row and other Harbs, the brother Harbs, in LA with the Chargers. I'm intrigued to see how that's going to work because I don't know how Greg Roman's offense is going to fit with Justin Herbert. I know they can run the ball with Edwards, but their offensive line may be a little shaky, and they're going to probably have to get rid of one of their receivers. They're not getting any younger. I'm intrigued to see how that's going to work out in LA. But I think charging is going to, with Joe Ortiz and Harbaugh, is going to start to be something that we don't say as much. Now, with that being said, you look at him in these black and blue divisional games against Pittsburgh, against Cleveland, against Cincinnati when you got to buckle up your chin strap. You need a guy like Derrick Henry, and Lamar Jackson can benefit from that as well. Because you're going to put 8 guys in the box? Okay, Lamar can throw. He's proven that. He can torch you for another MVP. What you want to do? So pick your poison. Let's just utilize them well. Hardball, Monken, let's get a game plan. Let's make sure when we need them most, especially in the second half and in fourth quarters of games, or we're running down that clock, we give Henry his 20 to 25 touches. I think that 22 number, like I read, is a nice sweet spot. Utilize him well. But we got other news on another Raven leaving. We talked about Duvernay left. Deshaun Phillips is gone. We have, like I said, Geno Stone's gone. Patrick Queen was linked to the Seattle Seahawks, but he is now heading back to enemy lines. He's going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. 3-year deal. And according to the Associated Press, the Pittsburgh Steelers have running mate for outside linebackers TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. Can't forget those two. Pittsburgh is luring inside linebacker Patrick Queen, who was drafted by the Ravens, to the Steelers. The second team All-Pro, Patrick Queen, can't forget, 3-year deal worth $41 million. People of the deal, that it can't be official until tomorrow when the league year starts. But Queen is only 24, coming off a career best season, playing next to Roquan Smith. He had 133 tackles, 3.5 sacks, and an interception. His arrival addresses a position the Steelers have struggled with since Ryan Shazier suffered a career-ending injury back in 2017. Man, prayers up for Ryan Shazier, man. He was a good one. Now, they were decimated by injuries last year as the Steelers had Cole Holcomb, Quan Alexander. Seasons were cut short. Holcomb is recovering from knee surgery in November, and Alexander will be a free agent who tore his Achilles on the win against Green Bay on November 12th. So Queen will play next to Landon Roberts, who led the Steelers with 101 tackles. It also takes the pressure off Holcomb to return by the season opener. It's the second splashy addition by the Steelers, as they have made a deal with Pro Bowl quarterback. We talked about it last night in Flex Zone, Russell Wilson, and giving him on the cheap. And Omar Khan, the GM, is definitely looking to make a splash. Now, Queen is entering his prime. He's a 3-down linebacker they've been searching for since Shazier was hurt. It's been a revolving door, as they had to trade up in the top 10 in 2019 to get Devin Bush, which started off fantastically. He looked like the next big thing in the middle linebacker core. He tore his ACL in his second season and never regained form. Injuries to the middle linebacker, Shazier and Devin Bush. Now, they brought in John Bostic, Mark Barron, Avery Wilson, Joe Sherman, Miles Jack. None of them stuck through. And Jack was cut and brought back as well. And Queen is an accomplished national champion at LSU, and he gives him a versatile linebacker, a good blitzing linebacker, as he will now face former teammate Lamar Jackson and former college teammate Joe Burrow still in the AFC North. So he's not going far as he joins the Steelers. I didn't see this coming. I thought he was a lock to go to Seattle, and I thought if he didn't go to Seattle, I could see him with Tennessee or Miami, one of the other Ravens, Robinson in Tennessee or Weaver in Miami. But hey, man, loyalty does not exist in sports anymore. We see it in the NBA. We see it in the NFL. Guys are going where the money is. This is a different generation. This is a different breed of athlete. Even with GMs, you used to never see teams trade within their division, especially in the NFL. You've seen it multiple times now. Certain teams that are bitter rivals would never do business with one another. That's not the case. That's not the case now, because now we have Patrick Queen going up 95 to Pittsburgh, to the Ravens' biggest rival. He gets 41 over 3. So really, he only gets 13.66 a year. Now, looking at me, I'm like, well, damn, could the Ravens have afforded to possibly keep him? If that's all he got was $40 million, could we just have gave him 45 guaranteed and say, hey, man, we'll make it wait and stay? Now, I wasn't the camp of giving him the 5th-year option so he could play this year and like he played last year, because him with Roquan Smith, I don't know if Patrick Queen is a Batman. That is a question I posed in all my group chats today where we were talking about the move. Is Patrick Queen a Batman player? I don't know, but is he a top 10 at his position? Yes. Does he have to be Batman playing next to Roquan Smith and Justin Madubuike and Kyle Hamilton? No, but he can be Robin and do it very, very well. He can blitz well. He can attack well. He's at his best when he's attacking and not reacting. Don't make him think too much. Have him see ball, get ball. I think Terrell Austin, Mike Tomlin will utilize his skill set well, even though it seemed like Tomlin threw a little shade at him a few times when they played over the years, when the Ravens and Steelers have had their post-game and pre-game yakety yak. But let's see what happens. I think Queen is another 100-tackle guy. I think they have improved their defense. Now, TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, that's 25 sacks between those two guys. Watt is getting you damn near 20, and Highsmith is another 7 or 8. So they're getting 25 plus sacks. They're getting damn near 30 sacks between the two of them alone. So they got a pass rush. They got guys who can get after the passer. Still have Cam Hayward in the twilight of his career, but he's still a top defensive lineman. He can hopefully be healthy this year. You get Rush. You might trade Deontay Johnson. You still got Pickens. You got Freiermuth. You got Warren. You got Najee. Your offensive line is young, but they're going to improve. Joey Porter Jr. did well last year, in my opinion. They still need help in their secondary, another corner, safety. They got Minka. But they're always scary, the Steelers are. I call them the cockroaches because no matter what you do, they never die. You give them the worst type of quarterbacking core in the league where they're playing the third string, they still find ways to win. TJ Watt gets hurt, they still maneuver and sliver their way into the playoffs. This team is going to be good. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. He rolls out of bed and gets you 9 wins. They won 10 games last year. Could I see them winning the AFC North this year? I could. I think if Russell Wilson, which I think he is the key, if he plays like he played last year for Denver under Arthur Smith, they're able to run the football. They're able to protect Wilson, give him time to throw the ball off of play action, make plays down the field to George Pickens and others. They still have a top decent draft pick, so they could add a piece offensively or defensively, wherever they want to go there. Offensive line, defensive backfield, another receiver even. We'll see. Pittsburgh's always tough. Like I said, they're always a 9-10 win team. They're like the cockroaches no matter what you do. They don't die. Adding Patrick Queen is an upgrade for them. It gives them a nice piece. And it really is a low risk, high reward. I mean, you're only giving them 13.6 million. And Landon Roberts had 101 tackles last year. And then you're probably going to eventually get back. You're going to get back Cole Holcomb. So you're going to have 3 decent guys at linebacker by the end of the season, potentially. Who knows? But Queen is an upgrade. He may not have to be a Batman, but when you're playing next to Batman like a Watt, you're playing next to Highsmith, he's going to do what he does best. And I think they're going to utilize him on blitzing. They're going to utilize him as little as possible in coverage. So we'll see what happens. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of the Patrick Queen signing? Are you pissed off at him? Do you hate the man's guts? Is it the worst thing since the decision? It's no loyalty in sports anymore. It's no loyalty really in anything anymore, especially when it comes to these high-paid, high-performing, highly sought-after, highly entitled, and buffered and fluffed up athletes with fragile egos in the social media age. I mean, don't forget Patrick Queen scrubbed his social media last year when the Ravens didn't pick up his 5th-year option. I thought they should have. I don't know how that would have worked with the cap this year, paying Matabike, but I thought Patrick Queen, if anybody else on that defense was going to go, one guy that was going to go was Patrick Queen, and then I guess Geno Smith was number 2. Those were my top 2 guys. Those are 2 guys I knew would be picked up by teams, and within the first 2 days of the legal tampering period, when they can sign tomorrow, boom, bada bing, bada boom, Geno Stone, goes to the Bengals to help out with their safety situation in the division. Patrick Queen leaves to the Steelers, helping what they need at the inside linebacker position in their division. The Bengals got better getting Zach Moss. Still got T. Higgins. I don't think they'll trade him. The Browns got better with Jerry Jeudy. I would have loved to get Jerry Jeudy for a 5th and a 6th, but I know he's going to have to get paid after the season. Cleveland, they're paying everybody fully guaranteed. So even if he just had some allegations against you, so you might be in the right position, Jerry Jeudy, to go with Amari Cooper. But the Ravens got better today. They signed Derrick Henry. They don't have to worry about drafting a running back. They can maybe wait until round 6 or 7 to maybe hope and hit for Keaton Mitchell, or wait till an undrafted guy is available. And they're banking on the future of Keaton Mitchell, I still think, as well, because if he is hurt this season, which I don't think we'll see any of him, if anything at all, much, maybe in December, I don't think we'll even see that. Heading into the 2024-2025 season, he's not expected to be a part of it. But 2025, we can expect to see him back fully healthy and really take the reins. If Derrick Henry does start to decline, you still have Justice Hill for this season. So this could be a situation where it can be a nice bridge, where it's not a declining bridge, but a bridge where you can get over it where you need to in the next year, make a run at it, have another good draft. The Ravens picking at 30, they could stay put, but I think this alleviates the need of running back in the draft. I still would like Blake Corum, but I don't think he's going to be a Raven. I can see him being a Charger. We'll talk about that with the draft profiles. But Derrick Henry signing, I give it a solid B+, damn near A-, because it's what the Ravens needed. The market was dictating what the price was going to be. They had rumors of offering him $6.5 million. It's a good deal. $16 million could be up as $20 million. So they didn't break the bank. They made a solid, honest move. Derrick Henry's a Raven. Welcome to the Fly King, Henry. We're happy to have you. I'm expecting 1,000 yards and at least double-digit touchdowns on the ground from you. And Patrick Queen heading to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know all the Ravens loyalists and people are pissed off. So I'm going to give it, y'all can do this to Patrick Queen. Y'all see him in Baltimore. The Steelers are on the Ravens. Mike Tomlin is sweeping the Ravens damn near every year. He's beating hardball even when he's had his backups in. So they're always a tough out. But I'm going to shout out Eric DeCosta. I'm going to shout out the crew up there at One Winning Drive. I'm going to give them their flowers because they deserve it as they bring in Derrick Henry, fill a major need, and they get the job done. I know some people were a little upset. I know some people were a little worried. But the Ravens, over the last few years, they've made a splash. Of course, last year with the Lamar signing, but also getting Odell on Easter Sunday, rising up. But I'm excited to see what happens here. Got Derrick Henry. This is probably the biggest move they'll make in free agency. They could tinker the roster. I would like to see them now try to go after a Jadeveon Clowney, bring him back on a 1-year deal, maybe a 2-year deal. Van Noy, even if you want to join the party back as well. I know you're not going to give any hometown discounts. But let me know. Sound off in the comments. What do you guys think about the Derrick Henry signing? What do you guys think about Patrick Queen becoming in Pittsburgh? Still, we're going to see him twice a year. We're going to see Geno Stone twice a year. Geno Smith is now with Mike McDonald, who will miss as well. We'll see what Zach Ward does. But Matabike re-signed. Derrick Henry is a Raven. We lose Patrick Queen, but they did also re-sign Malik Harrison as well. A good special teamer. And it's going to come down to Trenton Simpson. This is the biggest part that I took away from this trade. They drafted Trenton Simpson last year from Clemson, a winning organization, a blue blood program. He has the makeup, a bigger, stronger, faster, athletic Queen. It's just about him being in attack mode and not being in react mode, being proactive instead of reacting. I'm intrigued to see what Trenton Simpson does. He could be a breakout candidate, especially playing next to a Batman and Roquan Smith. But let me know your thoughts on the Patrick Queen going across enemy lines to the Steelers, the number one rival of Ravens. And let me know about what you think with Derrick Henry, how they'll use him, and do you like the signing, or do you have a little bit of trepidation as well? Sack that subscribe button, stick that like button, bulldoze that bell. It's the Flex Zone Podcast. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. It's yours. God's favorite host signing off, Derrick Henry, King Henry. Welcome to the flock, my brother. And Patrick Queen, hey man, you did great as a Raven. We drafted you, we developed you, you did some of your best work. You got paid. That's what you wanted, brother. You're going to the Steelers. And we wish you well, man. We'll see you twice. We'll see you at the bank, and we'll see you up there. So we'll see how it plays out. Geno Stone, Renee's a Jaguar. A lot of guys are moving on, but stay patient, stay faithful, Ravens flock. As long as we have number 8, we have a chance to really, really get the job done. I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, make sure you leave us a like, hit the subscribe button. I'm signing off, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.